The story behind how Barry Keoghan joined the world of Peaky Blinders sounds almost too perfect to be true. What began as a simple, friendly text message on Father's Day unexpectedly turned into one of the most exciting casting stories in recent television and film history. During a conversation with interviewer Emily Curl, both Barry Keoghan and Cillian Murphy opened up about how that casual message sparked their reunion for the highly anticipated film Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. Fans of the original series have been waiting years to see the world of the Shelby family return, and the reveal that Barry would play Tommy Shelby's son added an entirely new layer of excitement to the legendary franchise. The conversation began with a lighthearted question about whether their reunion truly started with a Father's Day text. Barry Keoghan smiled as he recalled the moment, admitting that yes, he was the one who sent the message. He explained that he often keeps in touch with Cillian Murphy, occasionally sending him friendly check-in texts just to say hello. But on that particular day, he decided to send something a little more playful. Like many younger actors who admire veterans in the industry, Barry joked that it's become almost a tradition to send Happy Father's Day texts to respected older actors, sometimes as a humorous gesture, sometimes as genuine appreciation. He laughed while explaining that he sent the message without expecting anything more than a friendly reply. To his surprise, Cillian Murphy responded with something far more interesting than a simple thank you. Instead, Murphy texted back with a question that would completely change the course of Barry's career. He asked Barry if he would like to play his son in Peaky Blinders. At first, Barry thought the response was just a playful joke. He later realized the timing was almost magical. In fact, Cillian Murphy admitted that he didn't even know it was Father's Day when he received the text. The coincidence made the moment even funnier. Barry joked that when people were suddenly being so nice to Murphy that day, he started to wonder why, only to realize it was because of the holiday. Behind the humor, though, there was something deeper happening. Cillian Murphy revealed that Barry had actually been the first choice for the role from the beginning. According to Murphy, the creators of Peaky Blinders believed the character of Tommy Shelby's son required a very special kind of actor, someone who could carry emotional weight, intensity, and unpredictability. For them, Barry Keoghan was the perfect fit. Murphy explained that he had known Barry for quite a while, and having already worked together on the World War II epic Dunkirk, he understood exactly what Barry could bring to the role. The idea of Barry stepping into the Peaky Blinders universe felt like a natural evolution of their earlier collaboration. Back when they worked together on Dunkirk, Barry was already making a name for himself as a rising talent. Since then, his career has exploded with powerful performances that caught the attention of critics and audiences around the world. Bringing him into Peaky Blinders as Tommy Shelby's son created a fascinating on-screen dynamic, one that explores legacy, family conflict, and the weight of the Shelby name. For Barry Keoghan, joining the world of Peaky Blinders was both thrilling and intimidating. He admitted that he had been a fan of the show for years. In fact, he had previously tried to find ways to join the series even before the movie project existed. Barry revealed that he had checked in with Shaheen Beg, hoping that an opportunity might appear. He was always curious whether there might be a role available or if his schedule might align with the production, but nothing ever materialized at the time. Eventually, Barry stopped asking about it. He moved on with other projects and focused on building his career. Then came that unexpected Father's Day text message to Cillian Murphy. Suddenly, the timing lined up perfectly. What had once seemed like a distant dream suddenly became reality. Barry described the moment as a kind of serendipity, one of those strange coincidences where everything falls into place exactly when it's supposed to. Despite his excitement, Barry admitted that stepping into a Peaky Blinders project carried a lot of pressure. The original series had become a global phenomenon, beloved by millions of fans. Taking on a major role in such a legendary story meant living up to enormous expectations. Barry explained that he had never really stepped into a project that was transitioning from television into a feature film format before. But this one felt different. The chance to work with Cillian Murphy again and to be part of such an iconic world made it impossible to turn down. Barry also confessed that he felt nervous during the early days of filming. Joining a franchise with such a passionate fan base can be intimidating for any actor. But he quickly discovered that the cast and crew made the experience welcoming and exciting. Everyone involved helped him feel comfortable stepping into the character of Tommy Shelby's son, a figure who carries enormous emotional and narrative weight in the new story. Meanwhile, Cillian Murphy reflected on how far Peaky Blinders has come since its humble beginnings. When the series first premiered on the BBC, it was a relatively small show with minimal promotion. It aired on Sunday nights, and initially it didn't attract massive attention. But slowly, something remarkable started to happen. Fans began discovering the show and sharing it with others. Word of mouth spread across social media, and the audience steadily grew. Murphy explained that the rise of Peaky Blinders felt incredibly gradual at first. It wasn't a sudden overnight success. Instead, it built momentum over time. Fans started copying the iconic hairstyles worn by the Shelby gang. The sharp three-piece suits became a fashion trend. The show inspired themed pubs, coffee shops, and even weddings. Suddenly, the world of Peaky Blinders wasn't just a television series, it had become a cultural movement. Murphy even recalled a funny memory from the early days. When he first got the role of Tommy Shelby, he searched the internet for information about Peaky Blinders. At that time, there was almost nothing online. He joked that there was only a single search result when he typed the name into Google. Today, the situation couldn't be more different. The show has become one of the most recognizable and widely discussed series in modern television history. The actor admitted that it's difficult to pinpoint the exact moment when the show became a global sensation. Some stories simply connect with audiences in ways that can't be predicted or explained. Peaky Blinders was one of those rare projects where everything, from the writing to the performances to the visual style, came together perfectly. Another touching moment in the conversation came when Barry was asked who in his personal life was most excited about his new role. Without hesitation, he mentioned his brother. Barry explained that his family has always been incredibly supportive of his career. When he finally revealed that he had been cast as Tommy Shelby's son, his brother was absolutely thrilled. However, for a long time, Barry had to keep the secret, which made the situation both exciting and frustrating. Because of strict confidentiality agreements, Barry wasn't allowed to tell anyone about his role in Peaky Blinders' The Immortal Man. That meant he had to carry the secret quietly while the project was being developed. For someone who was such a huge fan of the series, staying silent about the opportunity felt almost impossible. The conversation also turned to Cillian Murphy's personal journey with the character of Tommy Shelby. Over the years, Murphy has grown alongside the character in a unique way. When he first began playing Tommy, he was in his 30s. Now, years later, he has continued portraying the same character, as both the actor and the role have aged together. Murphy described this experience as incredibly rare for an actor. Most performers don't get the chance to follow a character's life across such a long period of time. Through the story of Peaky Blinders, Murphy has explored Tommy Shelby's transformation, from a traumatized soldier returning from World War I to a powerful and complicated leader navigating the turbulent years leading up to World War II. At this stage of the story, Tommy is confronting the emotional consequences of his past. Murphy explained that the character is trying to process years of trauma, grief, and mistakes. After building an empire based on power and influence, Tommy begins to question whether any of it truly matters. He realizes that wealth and control mean very little if a person's inner world is broken. However, just when Tommy attempts to step away from his violent past, circumstances pull him back into the dangerous world he once ruled. This internal conflict forms the emotional heart of the new film. The story also introduces the complicated relationship between Tommy and his son, played by Barry Keoghan, creating a powerful father-son dynamic that explores legacy, responsibility, and redemption. Murphy acknowledged that working opposite Barry added a new layer of depth to the story. Seeing the next generation of actors rise within the industry is something he finds incredibly inspiring. Ireland, in particular, has produced an extraordinary wave of talent in recent years, and Murphy expressed pride in watching young performers like Barry continue pushing the boundaries of their craft.
Beyond Peaky Blinders, Barry also discussed another major project currently dominating headlines, his role as Ringo Starr in an upcoming 4-part biopic about the Beatles. Preparing for the role has required some dramatic changes, including growing his hair much longer than usual. Barry joked that maintaining the look takes effort every single day. Filming for the project has been taking place in Liverpool, the historic hometown of the Beatles. Barry described the experience as deeply emotional. Walking through the city and seeing the famous statue of John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr along the waterfront made him realize the enormous responsibility he carries in portraying such a legendary figure. One particularly memorable moment happened when Barry was out jogging in Liverpool. As he passed a statue of the 4 musicians standing together near the docks, he suddenly felt the weight of history surrounding him. The legacy of the Beatles is so powerful that even